Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Well, I thought it prudent to do another update of the ongoing civil war taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia. And specifically, I wanted to address the alleged counterattack that has been reported uh, by Abiy loyalist forces within the vicinity of Kobo Robot. And that is in this area down here along the A2 highway. Further to the north, we already know that the Tigray Defense Forces moved south after heavy fighting, seized control of Kobo, and cleared out Abiy loyalist forces to the west, and more importantly, to the east along the Zobel mountain range of Abiy loyalist forces. So now we're hearing reports again. We had heard reports that the Tigrayan Defense Forces had moved south, seizing control of Kobo Robot, and fighting was happening on the outskirts of Huacho. Now, there are new reports coming in from pro-Abiy sources that indicate that they have counterattacked and retaken Kobo Robot. So first, as I look at this, you have to understand that things are moving fairly quickly, especially in terms of a light infantry type of force, which the Tigrayan Defense Forces are, especially in these mountain ranges to the west and east of some of these cities as you head south. In all probability, the main body of the Tigrayan Defense Forces, the main combat power, combat brigades, are still operating within the vicinity of Kobo, east of Kobo, west of Kobo, and are continuing to establish logistics capabilities in Kobo and other areas around Kobo to further conduct offensive operations south. Now, what we're probably seeing within the vicinity of Kobo Robot and moving south, these are the reconnaissance elements in force of the Tigrayan Defense Forces. This is probably not the main attack echelons of the Tigrayan Defense Forces. But we're probably seeing right now the engagement of Abiy loyalist forces, some of which have fled south. Others are attempting to be brought up north to try and curtail the continued advance of the Tigrayan Defense Forces. So is it possible that the Abiy loyalist forces have re-entered Kobo Robot? This is a fairly small town in this area. Yeah, it is possible. Now, with that being said, the uh, the uh, the strategy of the Tigrayan Defense Forces is to first seize control of these mountainous areas. In the case of Kobo Robot, in all probability, there are more and more TDF units moving into these mountainous areas to the west of Kobo Robot. At the same time, they are also moving south to the east of Kobo Robot as well. So what we have seen in the past, we'll see these counterattacks by the Abiy loyalist forces. They'll move up. They'll attempt to take control of an area, such would be a Kobo Robot. But what happens is they kind of fall into that trap where they eventually find themselves enveloped by these Tigrayan Defense Forces, who then launch another attack and then even cause even more casualties on the Abiy loyalist forces. Again, the Abiy forces do not look well led. They do not look well motivated. Obviously, there are some units that have shown a little bit more tenacity than other units. But once they start to come into contact with the enemy, the Tigrayan Defense Forces, sometimes that changes rather quickly. So is it possible that elements of a Fano militia unit, a regional Amhara force, or even the actual quote-unquote ENDF moved back into Kobo Road? Yeah, absolutely, especially as they operate along this A2 highway. But the problem is, for those forces, for the Abiy loyalist forces, is going to be these Tigrayan Defense Forces that are continuing to move down these mountain ranges and are going to get into the rear, get behind a lot of these Abiy loyalist forces, and then we eventually we see double and at times triple enveloping that occurs against some of these really poorly led and poorly led units of the Abiy loyalist forces. But we'll see what happens. Again, right now we're hearing reports from both sides. Cannot really confirm anything about the possible retaking of Kobo Robot, but we do know that more and more Tigrayan defense forces are steadily moving south. In all probability, the main body of the force is still within the vicinity of Kobo, west of Kobo, east of Kobo, and we're seeing probably a reconnaissance force by the TDF as they continue to establish control in a lot of these areas, and they continue to move their force construct further south. And just wanted to do a quick update on that. I know that is being reported right now, and that is my view on what is happening. Again, it's possible that that has happened in regards to some sort of a Abiy loyalist unit moving into Kobo Robot. But again, that very unit could, in fact, be facing a very, very dire end if it moves too quickly, and these TDF units get to the rear of it and are able to outflank it and then move in and then reattack Kobo Robot, if that's in fact what is happening on the ground. But again, things are moving pretty quickly, and I don't believe that the Abiy loyalist forces believed that they would lose Kobo up here so quickly, which in fact what did happen. They had some fairly significant, strong defensive lines. They were trench works and defensive positions have been established to the north of Kobo, and obviously those positions have been overrun and taken by the Tigrayan Defense Forces. That was the main line. Now the TDF is heading south, so again, we'll see if the Abiy loyalists can stabilize their lines and try to hold off the TDF, or could we see some sort of general collapse and further those forces fleeing south in fear of being enveloped and destroyed. But we'll have more as we continue to monitor and watch the situation. Again, thanks for joining us. Have a good day.